The true meaning of life is to plant trees, under whose shade you do not expect to sit. Vinayak Narahari Bhave, also known as Vinoba Bhave. Subscribe the channel, and watch the quotes of Vinoba Bhave, a prominent Indian freedom fighter and social reformer, left behind a wealth of wisdom and inspiration through his words and actions. Nonviolence is not a garment to be put on and off at will. Its seat is in the heart, and it must be an inseparable part of our very being. The world has enough for everyone's need, but not enough for everyone's greed. Love is the strongest force the world possesses, and yet it is the humblest imaginable. Man is the most insane species. He worships an invisible God and destroys a visible nature, unaware that this nature he's destroying is this God he's worshipping. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Let us not become so small that we blame others for our own failures. The true value of a human being can be found in the degree to which he has attained liberation from the self. Fearlessness is the first requisite of spirituality. Cowards can never be moral. The rich must live more simply, so that the poor may simply live. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. The pursuit of truth does not permit violence being inflicted on one's opponent. Innumerable acts of love are done in secret, and only the ones we know about are perceived as significant. All wars are civil wars because all men are brothers. The best way to resolve any problem in human affairs is for all sides to sit down and talk. We must become the change we want to see in the world. Nature is our greatest teacher. She reveals the power of patience. Let us be alert to recognize the life that takes care of us. The root of all oppression lies in the unchecked desire for power. When we open ourselves to love, we become channels for the flow of divine grace. Our purpose in life is to help others. If you can't help them, at least don't hurt them. In the midst of darkness, light persists. The wise see knowledge and action as one, they see truly. Let your life be your message. A small group of determined and like-minded people can change the course of history. Live simply so that others may simply live. The real conflict is not between East and West, or capitalism and communism, but between education and propaganda. The greatest work we can do is the work we do for others. Truth never damages a cause that is just. Nonviolence is the weapon of the strong. The essence of all religions is one. Only their approaches are different. To be good, you have to do good. Even if you lose your wealth, don't lose your virtue. Anger and intolerance are the enemies of correct understanding. The heart is the only book worth reading. Prayer is not asking, it is a longing of the soul. It is daily admission of one's weakness. The rich should be taught to give, the poor should be taught to receive. One should take full responsibility for oneself and one's life. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. The moment there is suspicion about a person's motives, everything he does becomes tainted. Nonviolence is not an action. It is not discussion. It is not for the timid or weak. Nonviolence is hard work. We are working for a world where no one is left in need. When you stretch out your hand to help others, you are stretching out your hand to help yourself. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. The law of love could be best understood and learned through little children. Education is the drawing out of the best in the child and man. There is no higher religion than human service. Peace can only last where human rights are respected, where people are fed, and where individuals and nations are free. Do not be embarrassed by your failures. Learn from them and start again. It is better to be small, useful, and free than to be big, useless, and enslaved.